The gym is open again after COVID lockdown, and we're going in for a workout today. So this is going to be another first workout after COVID lockdown, and I'm going to take you through the entire routine. Back in the gym, and today we're going to be doing a total body workout focusing on one exercise for each movement pattern. Keeping it simple, going to be doing 3 sets of around 10 to 15 reps per each exercise, and starting off now with an overhead press. So this is a shoulder press machine and a great one to just work all those pressing muscles of the upper body, again your shoulders, your triceps. Today I'm training with my wife Patricia, so she's back in the gym as well. We're going to be going through this series together as a get back in shape husband and wife workout routine. And despite all the stuff you may have heard, there's really no such a thing as a man's workout versus a woman's workout. I mean, both men and women have the exact same major muscles, and those major muscles need to be worked with the same types of exercises. So men and women can work out together as training partners and both benefit. And I actually find that it's quite complementary, because sometimes when you're training with a woman, she can help keep you on track as far as exercise form and not letting the ego get out of control, and vice versa. When a woman is training with a man, sometimes she'll push herself a little harder and go a little heavier than she normally would if she was training by herself. So sometimes it can actually be very complementary to have that masculine and feminine energy going on at the same time while you're doing your workout together. And right here I'm doing the underhand grip hammer strength lat pull down. This is a great exercise to really focus on working the lats and bringing in the biceps as secondary muscles. And I like that complementary movement pattern where I'm working opposing movements. So started with the overhead press, now doing an overhead pull. And this is a great way to keep everything in balance and proportion. It's a good rule of thumb to follow when you're doing total body workouts. Always think of hitting each side of the body with equal volume. Equal volume of pressing, equal volume of pulling, and this will help to keep everything in balance and proportion. Next up, going to be doing the seated chest press. This is a horizontal pressing movement that's going to be working the chest, the shoulders, and the triceps. Now, whenever you do a bench press or a chest press, it's always a good idea to adjust the height of the seat so that your elbows are lower than the height of the shoulders. And what this is going to do, it's going to take some of the rotation out of the shoulder joint and place more of the emphasis on the chest and the triceps, which are the major muscles that we want to focus on. A common mistake that a lot of people make is they keep their elbows too high and too flared out, and this places excess strain on that fragile shoulder joint and can very often lead to a shoulder or rotator cuff injury. And moving on in the workout, I'm going to be doing the chest supported T-bar row. And this is a good horizontal pulling movement that's going to focus on building back thickness and bringing in the biceps and the forearms as secondary muscles. Now, because your chest is supported against the pad, this is actually going to make the exercise easier on the lower back. You're not going to have to engage the lower back to balance and stabilize your upper body. But on the flip side, it's going to make it a little bit more challenging to breathe, because now all your weight is supported on that pad and you can't expand your chest and your lungs to the same degree as you would if you never had that pad there. So an alternative that you can do is you can place your feet on the floor, just like Patricia's doing right here, versus having your feet on the foot plate like I was doing. And by having your feet on the floor, it's going to help to support some of your body weight and make it a little easier to breathe as you're doing the chest supported T-bar row. So bottom line, try both variations and see which one you prefer and which one feels the best for you. And working our way down to the lower body, we're going to do some leg exercise with the leg press. And this one right here is a seated leg press machine using a weight stack. And there's different types of leg presses. You can get the 45-degree angle plate-loaded leg press. There's probably a whole bunch of different variations depending on what you have available at your local gym. This one right here is good enough. I mean, sometimes I'll use the plate-loaded leg press, especially if I'm training heavier. But for our first workout back after lockdown, this is plenty. Like, we're not pushing ourselves heavy. We're not going to failure. Not trying to set any records here. We're just going through the motions, building up our strength and conditioning, building up our work capacity, and focusing on getting back in shape after lockdown. Shooting for 3 sets, 10 to 15 repetitions, starting off light and increasing the weight with each set. Now we're going to finish things off with some work for the core And this exercise right here is the abdominal plank. And this is a static contraction exercise which really works the abdominals in the way they're meant to be worked. I mean, the abs are basically stabilizer muscles for your core, and that's exactly what you're doing here when you're holding a plank, is you're stabilizing your entire core. So what I want you to focus on is keeping your body level and straight. So don't have your hips sticking too far up, don't have your hips sagging too far down. Try and keep a level position from your toes right to your upper back. All that in a straight line. Now, you can hold yourself on your elbows, which is a great way to start, or if you want, you can even hold the top of a push-up position, where your arms are extended, just like you're doing a push-up, and hold it there. Either one is fine. Both are going to engage the core to a great degree. Obviously, the push-up variation is going to have a bit more arm and shoulder stabilization, but either one is a fine variation. And this one, we're just going to focus on increasing the time and the volume that you hold the exercise. So a good place to start is 30-second holds, and as you get stronger, work up to a minute or longer. And if you're working with a training partner, you can have them time your sets for you. Or if you're doing this by yourself, what you could do is just place a stopwatch or even your phone, have it down there in front of you so that you can see it while you're doing the plank and use that to time yourself. And there's all kinds of different timer apps that you can download for free. I have one that I like to use when I'm working out. It's just a simple stopwatch timer app, and it's great for doing exercises where you want to hold it for time, such as the plank. And the final exercise of our workout is the back extension. And this is going to work the lower back, which is a critical part of the core. I mean, very often people complain of having lower back problems and a weak lower back, and this is one of the best exercises you can do to strengthen that area. And the thing I like about the back extension is it's a stretch and a contraction. So in the bottom position, you really help to stretch out the spinal erectors, stretch out the hamstrings and the glutes, and then as you come up, you get a good peak contraction at the top. So this is one of my favorite core exercises, and I like to do this one on a regular basis. Now, as far as the sets and reps, that's really going to depend on you, your fitness level, and your work capacity. I mean, to start off, just use your body weight and go through the motions, get comfortable with the movement. But as you build up your strength, you can focus on increasing the sets and increasing the reps and basically just the total volume. And that's what I would focus on first. You can make a lot of progress with just body weight alone. And what I would very often do is focus on working up to doing 4 sets of 25 repetitions with body weight. And I'm telling you, by the time you're doing 100 total reps of this exercise, you are going to have a strong lower back. Now, if you want to take it beyond that, that's when you can add resistance. But for most people, just body weight alone is going to provide an amazing workout for that lower back and help to stretch out that whole area. So there you go. That concludes the total body workout, our first workout back to the gym now after COVID lockdown again. So this is an ideal routine to follow when you're just getting back to the gym, whether that's after a lockdown or you're coming back after a layoff, or maybe even if you're just brand new and you've never been to the gym. This is something that you could get started with. So quick little recap. We did a overhead pull, an overhead press, a horizontal pull, a horizontal press, a leg press, and then finished off with some core work and hit the entire body. So I mean, that's an ideal program that you can follow to get yourself back in shape without overcomplicating, without overthinking it and saying like, oh, do I need to do this and that and the other thing? Just focus on one exercise for each major muscle group, each major movement pattern, and you're covered. Focus on just mastering the basics and being consistent day in and day out. Do this every other day or 3 days a week, and then on those off days, that's when you can do some sort of cardio, whether it's just getting outside for a walk, whether it's coming to the gym and using the cardio machines here. Alternate weight training one day, cardio the next is an awesome way to get daily exercise and work within your body's recovery. So again, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback about it, what do you do if you have any questions, comments, or feedback? You post them down in the comments down below, all right? That's what you do. You post your questions, comments, and feedback down below. And if you haven't already done so, make sure to subscribe to the Total Fitness Bodybuilding YouTube channel. Follow me over on Facebook. I'm doing daily live videos, sharing some nuggets of wisdom over there on Facebook as well. So check that out. And I will talk to you in a future video coming soon. Take care. Over and out.